welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out massively for my videos to be seen. But if this video found you, I do believe sometimes they just find you when you need them most. There's something about that just seems very interesting, I will say. So let's get into your reading, shall we? Let's see what is happening to you, for you today. Let's see first of all. So we've got different, I'm using the, what's it called? Tattoo Tarot Ink and Intuition today. So that's what we're going to be working on with that one for you today. Just move all this stuff out of the way. Got stuff in the way. Ooh. And we've also got the Sacred Feminine Oracle as well. So, instead of watching me faffing around with the cards, let's get into it. Let me start with these ones first of all. So yeah, there's some indecision going on here. I feel like maybe whoever I'm talking to at the moment is, you kind of feel like you're tripping up over yourself to get started, to get going. There's definitely an energy of that today. And then just too many things, too many options, too many choices going on at the moment. It's like you're ready for a new venture, but you're not sure where to begin. And you're second guessing your intuition, I feel. Maybe that's why we're using the ink and intuition today, because you're not sure whether to trust your intuition or even what your intuition is. Let's talk about that today. Like, what actually is intuition, and how do you know what is your intuition and just what you've thought up, okay? We've got the card forsee, which is very interesting because this actually reminds me a little bit of the Ace of Swords in another tarot deck that I've got, because it is like a spiral. So the Ace of Swords is usually like a sword with something, a ring around it. And it's usually a time where it's like you've kind of had a realization, you've been awakened to something, like you've kind of had a realization about something that's happening at this time. And it is all about time. Can you see that on there? There's a little clock. So there's something that you have been working towards that is linking into divine timing and alignment, okay? And that's why you're starting to have a realization now. This is why something has really sparked your interest or been shown to you, because the timing is right. This is why you're watching this video. The timing is right now, and that's why you're like preparing. I keep getting the white rabbit off Alice in Wonderland pop into my head. You know, we're late, we're late. You're never too late. This is all in timing. This is all right. So you don't need to rush this. You don't need to worry about whether you're prepared or not. You are prepared and you're inspired. Something has really switched on your inspiration at this time and you're going for it. Okay, this is been a work in progress, I feel, but you are ready now to face the music. You're ready. It's like you're on top of the world. Okay, let's see what we have with the Sacred Feminine, because sometimes this can be like the shadow aspects, the hidden things within what's on the surface. Okay, I do get somebody feeling quite excited. It's like, maybe that's why I'm wearing yellow today. It's sort of like around that solar plexus, your personal power. Psychic is what we have. Yeah, you are. This is about intuition today. So do you know when you're trusting your intuition? Do you know what actually your intuition is? I know I said that twice now. So let me give you an example. Have you ever had a moment where you don't know why you're thinking something, but it keeps popping into your head? And the more that thought keeps popping into your head, and you're like, where does that come from? Why am I thinking that? Why am I feeling that? And we have a choice, don't we? You can either just ignore that thought and not bother, or you can decide, actually, I'm gonna, this thought that I've got, I'm gonna see it through. I'm gonna actually bring that into fruition. I'm gonna make it happen. We would call that following your intuition. And then that actual decision, it could be a good thing, or it could be something that actually negatively impacts you, but it's still following your intuition. So what I'm going to say to you is that following your intuition doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to save you from having an experience, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stop you from having something that could negatively impact you from happening. You needed to hear that, because we are ultimately here to have experiences, and not all experiences are great, not all experiences are bad. Your intuition is there to help you with discernment. It's to help you to understand what empowers you and what disempowers you. But both situations are necessary to grow your intuition, okay? It's like, how many times can you run at a brick wall before you realise that's a brick wall and I'm doing that to myself? I have a choice over that, okay? So this is you following the intuition of, you've been alerted to a brick wall, I feel. You've started to realise, like, I'm going against this and I'm not sure why I'm going against it anymore. I don't think it's necessary on my journey or on my path anymore. So therefore, I'm going to stop doing that. Okay? And that is when your guides then, you know, your higher self switches on and is like, they're learning, they're getting it, they know the direction they're taking. Okay, we'll bring alignment in then. And that's when everything changes. So we have answers. This is the breath of the gods. So this is about communication with the gods, with Odin, with whatever you believe in. But you are communicating on that level at this time. They're communicating with you. And like I said before, the communication isn't in the form of words. It could be through music. It could be through synchronicities, number patterns, anything like that. But it can also just be about you trusting yourself, trusting what you feel is right for you. Okay? There can be times where you sort of like, you could do a reading after reading after reading to try and get some information. And I've said it before, if you're having to have more than one reading over something, over a particular situation, it's because the information in the first reading wasn't what you wanted to hear. So that tells you everything about what it is that you want and what you're guided towards, doesn't it? Because you obviously really know what the answer is. You just don't want to admit it to yourself, is basically what it's saying. So answers is here about, you know, start to really absorb that communication that you are getting, that is from the gods, but feels like it's yourself talking to yourself, okay? Because that information, that communication is what's necessary at this time for you to really have this like, aha, I know where I'm going now. I've got clarity on this. I see my direction and I'm going for it. And that is the challenge. Clarity is the challenge here, because at times we can feel like we've gained a little bit of knowledge. I don't know, maybe we've read a chapter of a book and we believe that we now hold the knowledge of that, but we don't. We only have a little portion of it. We haven't got the full picture, the full story. So that's the challenge here, is being humble with it. You know, yes, okay, you've got a little bit of information, you've gained a little bit of clarity, but that doesn't mean that you know everything. And doesn't the saying go, the more I learn, the less I know? So there is an element of letting go of what you thought you knew and being guided into like, I'm just going to accept what I'm being shown here. Athala. So again, ancestral energy. You have a lot of spiritual guidance around you at this time. It's like you've got guides all around you, coming closer to you, protecting you, teaching you, and you're listening for once. I don't mean to make that sound like you don't normally listen, but this is about you. You're really feeling that energy. You're starting to hear what's been said to you. You're starting to feel that pull and being guided towards what is for your highest good. No longer searching for the surface level stuff. You're going that bit beyond it. I like this reading. I see where we're going with this. Yeah, you've gained a different level of intelligence. You've actually unlocked a new level of emotional intelligence and a new beginning from your heart center. You're starting to realize what resonates with your heart and how to create, how bringing balance, of balanced giving and receiving, actually brings you so much fulfillment. Makes you feel good, makes you feel happy, and it actually aligns you with bringing more of that to yourself. Okay. In the past, I feel like you've been quite suppressed emotionally, or held back from expressing your emotions, not really following the guidance, that inner tutor, because you didn't really understand how to. But I feel that you have had a presence around you, call it a spiritual teacher, whether that's in the 3D or whether that is through your higher self. You've had some guidance come through that is helping you, supporting you, and showing you the path forward. That's very good. So let's see what your current situation then is in your psychic world right now. Okay, so we've got the Six of Pentacles, which is very interesting because that does align us with Gebo, which was the last rune that I showed you on there. There's a real, your current situation right now is about balance in giving and receiving. It's like you feel very confident and happy about giving, and you found a way, or you found something that, you know, when you give to it, it gives back. You found something there, and I think it's shocked you. Maybe it's kind of stunned you a little bit. Just trying to think. You are still in a space though of keeping your options open, I feel. So it's basically, you found something that you know you can put your energy into and you're going to receive it back. But there's still this energy of keeping your options open, and like or maybe you're looking for an opportunity at this time. You're trying to find opportunities to bring that balance into your life. And Spirit is actually presenting you with those options, with those opportunities, and it's almost like a little bit of a test that's going on for you here spiritually, a test of your intuition. So what they're asking you, if you're confused about this, the word is discernment. And what that means is knowing the difference between something that empowers you or disempowers you. So these options that you've got, these situations, take each one now and say to yourself, does that empower me or does it disempower me? If it's a disempowering feeling that you get from it, then you need to push it away. And in pushing it away, it opens up a space for you to bring more of actually what empowers you in, because that's what you are putting out there, that I'm ready to do this. That is following your intuition, okay? That is following your intuition. Now, if you feel guided to have gone towards something that actually you're like, why did I do that? Why did I go down that road? It's because there was a lesson in it for you. There was something there for you that you needed to experience in order to be where you are right now, to be humbled by what you're going through right now. So forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Realise that you, because of this experience, you are now able to discern, and it's bringing you balance in giving and receiving. I like your energy. Let's see what your challenge is at this time. If this is resonating with you and the words I'm speaking is making sense to you, then please do leave a comment or an emoji or something. That would be amazing to know how you're feeling. So let's see, what is your challenge at this time? What is your challenge at this time? I feel like you are quite proud of yourself actually for this realisation that you've had. And you're quite amazed by it, I feel. So we've got the Hanged Man. This is your challenge. So the challenge here is about surrender. The challenge is about this different perspective. It might be difficult for you to go about things in a different way to how you normally would, which is understandable, because if you've always known that, it's difficult to change, isn't it? And there might be an element of sort of like, but what if I fuck up? What if I mess up? What if I further down the line snap back to a previous way of being, well, again, use your discernment. If you do, maybe there was a lesson there for you, but you don't think so far ahead as to the outcome. Bring yourself back to the present moment, and that's all about the Hanged Man. He's taking that time to sit upside down, or stand upside down, whatever you want to say. Hang upside down should probably be the words I should say, and see things from a different perspective, from a different viewpoint. But it's not until you actually take the time to do that, get in a downward dog, do a headstand, something like that. It gives you a different perspective, and it also changes your brain waves, brings fresh ideas, new inspiration, inspired thoughts and actions. And that's your challenge right now, is allowing yourself to surrender, allowing yourself to take that different perspective. Okay. So, what do you need to focus on? The Page of Coins. Okay. What you need to focus on right now is this like, it's a small step forward, basically. There's a new opportunity, a new beginning, and you need to focus on making plans towards it. But the Page of Coins is quite a slow energy, a bit like the Knight of Coins. So it's not, it's not a fast movement. It's somebody that is realizing the new beginning, realizing the opportunity that they want to move towards. I do feel there's an element of, I see somebody writing a letter, maybe like these days it might be more like a text message or something like that. But it feels like there's a need to maybe write some things down as part of your making plans towards the opportunity that you want to go towards. Again, that might be that balance in giving and receiving. So actually what I'm getting from this is about, if I can see somebody in a communication with somebody, like sending messages, and this is about keeping the flow of communication in a way. Like that's part of the new beginning, that's part of making a plan. So that might be you reaching out to somebody else or somebody else reaching out to you, but you're aligning with keeping a flow of energy going with that. And that's what this focus is about, is making a plan and keep chipping away in that direction that you want to go in. There's something very fortunate about this. It's all on the spiritual level at the moment. It's all about your spiritual growth and awakening that you're going through. But there's something about it that is also bringing some form of financial gain as well. That could be to do with changing up what you're doing work-wise. So, what do you need to leave behind? What do you need to leave behind? Oops, the whole pack came out. That's interesting. The Knight of Cups has just fallen out on there. Okay, so what do you need to leave behind right now? Whoa. I feel like there's an energy of trying not to have expectations of what things should be like or what they should look like. It's asking you to surrender. No, I'm not going to take all of them. I'm just going to split the pack and pick the card that we need. Okay, so it's asking you to leave behind the heartbreak. It's almost like a fear of being hurt is what I'm getting from this. A fear of being hurt, a fear of having your heart broken. There's something in your past about this, and you've possibly been hurt a lot. And I feel like someone that's maybe lost themselves within some connections here as well, or around people. So that's what it's asking you, is to leave behind that heartbreak now, that heartache. And like I said before, it's sort of like your intuition may have guided you towards something that you're like, why did that happen? Because that hurt me. That really hurt. But there was something in it that you needed to learn from. And what Spirit are telling me is that you actually 100% did learn the lesson, and that's why you have been given more guidance now. You are being guided towards something that is a new opportunity that you can make plans towards it's like a fresh beginning. But they're asking you to not let this hold you back, not let heartbreak and fear of being hurt hold you back. Okay, just trust it. Let's see, what is your strength at this time? What is your strength? It's interesting. Your strength in here is saying the Five of Cups. Now this is someone that's kind of withdrawn, that's feeling like a bit of loss and regret. So it's almost like, it feels to me like something that you regret is also your strength, because it's shown you what you really want. If you go back to the beginning of the reading when I said about, you know, you could have so many readings, and if it doesn't tell you what you want to hear, say like for instance you get in it, there's a yes or a no card and you ask a question and you're looking for, you know, in the back of your head you're hoping for a yes and you get a no. And you're thinking to yourself like, oh, okay, well that's disappointing because I was hoping this. But you came into the reading as though you didn't know what outcome you wanted. But it's kind of clearly giving you an answer that you didn't really like. And this feels to me like the loss of something that actually meant something to you. But there's strength in that. It is actually helping you to feel strong. I'm going to get a clarity card on that one. Because the reason it's your strength is because it's actually helped you to open up your emotional intelligence. It's helped you to understand, actually, I am quite emotional about this. I am feeling emotional about this, is what it's saying. Yeah, because it's made you realise actually what your wish fulfillment is, what your desire is. And you desire peace. You desire, it's like a family setting, or, you know, what really makes you feel content and happy. And you started to understand actually being emotionally available and being emotionally intelligent. It's opened you, it's like it's broken you wide open almost, and shedding the tears and allowing yourself to feel has actually brought you to the strength being about joy and peace and fulfillment. Okay, so that is your, that's why it's coming up as your strength, because you didn't see that as strength before this situation. You did not see that as strength before. You saw that as weakness, but actually now you see it as strength. So what is in the future of this? The Wheel of Fortune, change, big change. You have completed the wheel. You are being rewarded for overcoming the lessons that you've been put through. Okay, Spirit are really, really on your side. You know, you've got your ancestors here watching you. You've got the gods watching you. You know, and it's bringing this balance between masculine and feminine. There's a real, you're in a really good place right now, and it's like you have linked in the love of yourself on a physical, mental, emotional and spiritual self, but also a love of the divine as well. You've started to realise actually there is a guiding force that is helping me through this. And because of that change, you're aligned with your highest purpose. You're on a timeline now that has linked you to a higher purpose. What I mean by that is like, I mean, when we say higher purpose and stuff, it's not that we're creating all these superheroes in the world where it's like, oh, everybody's a superhero now. Everybody's aligned with this great big purpose, you know. It doesn't mean that. It means that you have accessed your own personal truth. You have realised what it is that you actually truly want in your world, in this life, okay? And that is what the Wheel of Fortune is all about. It's really interesting, there's a snake down there. I've got a snake now, just literally got a snake. Yeah, that's interesting. Because I got a snake yesterday. It was my son's birthday. And we moved the snake from one point to another. And I was worried at first, like, is it going to like its new habitat? Is it going to be okay? And you know what? It instantly liked it. And, you know, that snake would never have moved itself. We intervened to move it to where it was. But the space it's got now is bigger. It seems content. It seems really happy in there. And sometimes, you know, we can cage ourselves up with what we think we know or what we've always known through fear of stepping out of that space. But actually you can outgrow spaces. You can outgrow places, and that's when change needs to occur. And yes, it can be scary, but it can also be exciting if you allow it to be. And this is about finding the joy in all the little things, realising that every episode you have to go through, every thing that you go through that potentially feels like this is a struggle or this doesn't feel very nice, this is making me feel uncomfortable, it's all shedding a skin. That's allowing you to make an informed decision of discernment. Does this empower me or not? And each time you shed that skin, you've grown more and more. And right now, especially I feel like in your environment, you're getting too big. Your energy is getting too big for where you're trying to fit into. And it is starting to feel like that, isn't it? So in your future, you are, you know, in charge of this wheel now. You get to guide it in the direction that you want to go. Nothing can stop you from doing that. So yeah, very good. The number 10 feels like it's significant as well. I don't know if number 10 means anything to you. Maybe you live at number 10. But that number 10 really does have some significance. That might be the 10th of May, potentially. Because we are in May now, or the 10th of a month is significant to you. So perhaps that's when this change is going to really start to be apparent in your life. So what is your advice right now? What can we advise you? What is your advice? I saw the world there. So that is realisation, unveiling as well. So it might be that you need to really allow yourself to shine as you are, regardless of what anybody might think. What is your advice? Chariot, victory. Let me see what your advice is. I'm going to pick the card. Oh, I feel like it's that one. Judgment. Okay. So, this, like I was saying before, that self-realisation. This is a time for you where they're advising you to allow this awakening. What your intuition is showing you, it's real and it's happening and you're not making it up. It's true. Okay? You will know what I'm talking about there because it's that thought, or you think it's a thought, but it's actually an intuitive download that keeps coming back around. All of those synchronicities that are around it, it's real. You're not making it up. It's true. And in the past, you've tried to deny yourself of it. You've tried to run away from it or hide from it. Your advice here is to embrace it, realise it, and see it for what it is. Don't keep running away from it. Don't keep hiding from it. I can see somebody going to a waterfall, spending some time under a waterfall or a shower or something like that, where they're sort of, maybe you're doing this yourself, but you're there sort of like asking yourself to be cleansed, asking yourself to sort of be free of things that are maybe attached to you, that are holding you back. That's what I see on there. And it's whatever you've done there, you've done something really good. And again, you followed your intuition on that. Yeah, intuition doesn't have to be massive, big things. It's little things, little changes that we make that make a massive impact on our lives. What about your environment? Okay. So in your environment, I do feel like you are actually you're living in the way that you want to be living right now. You're quite happy with your home life, with where you are. It does, you're grateful for it every day. I see somebody that's sort of like, you step into your space and you're like, oh, I love it here. That's something that you manifested yourself. And I think there were times where you were like, this isn't going to happen for me, or I'm a little bit scared about taking this venture. So you've already proven to yourself that you can make things happen through your belief, okay? And things do happen, don't they? When you want something, you start to manifest it, and then everything just aligns like boom, boom, boom. And it's like, oh, okay, that was obviously meant to be, because the doors were wide open for it. But that's what the situation you're in right now. And this is why we've got the Two of Pentacles, because you're weighing up things. And it's almost like, because you've manifested something in your environment that you're like, I love this, I'm happy with this. There's also something else about it that you're like, do I need to change it though? Do I need to move? Do I need to make some changes here? And there's a fear around that, because you know it's something that you manifested and you don't want to feel like you're ungrateful for what you've already got. So the question is, with this one then, is why do you want to change it? What is that about? Is it, so ask yourself this question, is it because you're so used to change that you just need change? Or is it something else? Is it because you don't feel like you deserve it? Does it feel too easy and you're used to struggle? Maybe. So I want you to focus on the environment aspect right now of this current situation and ask yourself those questions, yeah? Because remember, your current situation was this Seven of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So that's your, I can't hold these cards. This is about your giving and receiving imbalance. And there's something about you feeling a bit selfish with your current environment. Take it how it resonates, but that's something that I'm picking up for somebody on here. And it's, you've got other options, which is throwing you out because you're like, I don't know which one to take. I don't know which way to go. So it is about that, taking a different perspective, yeah? It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be content. It's okay to not have dramas or be struggling, okay? It's okay to have that. Let's see what your hopes and fears are at this time. What is your hope and fear? There's too many there. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, we'll take these. So we've got, oh no, that one was already there, wasn't it? We've got the Page of Coins already. So we've got the Eight of Swords at the moment. So this, I feel, is more a fear. And it's about you restricting yourself, not allowing yourself to move forward. It's like, see, the Eight of Swords is usually somebody that's like holding themselves back. And maybe that's a fear of yours, is like, am I going to hold myself back? You know, from actually moving forward. So I'm going to get another card to go with that as well. So why the Eight of Swords for hopes and fears? Yeah, I think it's because you've got so used to maybe having your own time, being by yourself. Maybe you've been single for a while, and there's a fear about stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping out of that little bubble that you've created for yourself, because it feels safe now. It feels like a safe place, but it also feels a bit isolating. It also feels a bit restricted. It's like holding yourself in this place. It's like a fear of missing out on what else is going on. And you don't want to miss out on what's going on. You don't want to miss an opportunity. And this is what your intuition, this is what the gods and your ancestors are trying to guide you towards, is like, you wanted a balance in giving and receiving. You wanted this, and you've been asking for it. And some parts you've actually manifested it. Looking at the cards, you have already manifested this for yourself. So why are you doubting it? Why are you doubting yourself? It's not the actual opportunity that you're doubting, it's yourself that you're doubting. So yeah, ask yourself that question. Why the doubts? Why are you doubting this? Because there is this light inside you, and you feel it, you see it, and you do allow yourself to be guided by it sometimes. But then other times you're like, nah, I'm done with this now. I'm just gonna sort of go about my day and do my usual things. And that's normal. In a spiritual journey, it's normal to go up and down, back and forth. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry about that. Right, so let's see what your outcome is. Ooh, what is your outcome at this time? Having patience. There is a purpose to everything that you're going through, an absolute purpose. But it's just going to take a little bit of patience. I've got that George Harrison song stuck in my head now. I can't remember what it's called. It's going to take time. So this is a time for looking after yourself, nurturing your body, nurturing your mind. Meditation is a good call for you right now, or listening to things that help you to align and think. I'm going to get one more. Yeah, definitely meditation. This is a time for, I mean, usually this one can be a little bit defensive in certain terms, but it's actually more about the more work you do on you right now, the more you listen to your intuition or are guided by it, you're going to align with what's meant for you. And it's coming. Do you know what I mean? It's coming. You are learning those lessons and they are proud of you. The gods, your ancestors, they're all proud of you and they are helping you to align with Gebo, the gift. You're receiving a gift and it's on its way. Just keep being patient, keep focusing on you and the work that you need to do for yourself on the physical, mental, emotional and spiritual senses. So I'm going to leave this reading here for you today. If that resonated with you and you would like your own personalised reading, then please do get in touch. My details are down in the description box. And as I said before, please do like and subscribe to my channel and I'll see you very soon. Have a blessed day.